Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanam Jana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Andeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhavitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Yantah pravishya mama vacham evam prasuktam sanjeevayata kila shakti dharak anyamsya hasta charana shravanatva gadi pranam namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam svasyastu vishvasya kala prasidatam dayantu bhutani shivam mithodiyam manascha vadram bhajata tadoksaja aveshyatam namati radhya haituki. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to see all those of you whom I can see, and to know that you are there, those whom I cannot see. So we'll have little less than 1 hour session, and we have some live audience here too. So we can start with Jai Jagannath Prabhu, who is here.
Radha Shyam Maharaj, thank you for the beautiful Balaram Purnima discussion yesterday. The class, you were underscoring, or we were hearing about the names of Balaram given by Gargamuni, specifically in terms of those names function in relationship to the function of Guru Tattva. Balaram is Samasi Guru, and you had indicated in the class that those names also are kind of implied in the function of the...
Yeah, indicative of the functions of the Guru, yes.
Yasu Guru. My question was yesterday, what's a reasonable expectation to have of the Guru performing those particular functions? You know, the first name, Baladev, was the establishment of the Seva ego. That gives us strength. The second was the Guru gives us happiness by giving us Sambandha Gyan in the big picture of life. And the third one specifically was the Guru drawing us closer to a very specific identity in relationship to, you know, our prayojana. And yeah, my question is, what's a reasonable expectation of a disciple to have of that function of the Guru in relationship to himself? And I guess the tension in my mind is that I've observed, and most religious spaces and ours included, that our relationship to the Guru is more as charismatic person, charismatic leader, than as in like educator per se. Like, I don't think a lot of followers necessarily see their individual. I guess definitely say this is a tension amongst my generation of devotees who are like in their late 30s, early 40s, where there's this tension that their relationship with their Guru has been largely as the charismatic leader and not as the person who really, you know, gradually educates them and establishes this seva ego and so on in a sort of personal and almost like custom-made sense. And I'm kind of observing a little bitterness or cynicism coming up in my generation of devotees because of this, that, oh, we haven't really related to our gurus on a level that's personal enough where I really felt like a strong inculcation of the knowledge. I've only related to my guru as a charismatic leader. It's like, yeah, Guru Day, but that function of the guru hasn't really been felt by them. So yeah, I was like, so it's been a question for me just in conversation with my friends. Like, yeah, what's a reasonable expectation to have of the guru so that we don't end up with cynicism or like regret or something of that sort?
Well, if we look in the history of our sampradaya, we can see examples of very, very personal relationship, like Narottam Das Thakur with his Lokanath Das Goswami. And we can also see the examples of very remote relationship, like Madhavendra Puri basically had with most of his disciples, except for maybe Ishvara Puri. He was a traveling mendicant, and at that time there was no planes, there was no trains, so traveling means traveling by foot and basically visiting a particular disciple once in a lifetime. So this kind of scenario is also there. It's not excluded from bona fide relationship. You know, you meet with your guru, you get a strong samskara or strong impression. And of course, Srila Prabhupada was also, to vast majority of his disciples, such a figure. He was just there. He was, you know, an icon. The intimacy of the first disciples and followers of the Swamiji on the Second Avenue was long gone. And he was traveling all over the world, and you know, you could only see him once in a while in Vyasa-san. But I guess in this still Guru Tattva is functioning through such a guru in this relationship, in this case scenario. Like even in case of Srila Prabhupada himself, of course, it was different. It's not exactly the same scenario which you described, but still he only saw him 5 times. And again, the relationship were kind of distant, and he even expressed it openly in his last letter to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. There are brahmacharis and sannyasis who are close to you, who are directly engaged by you, and I am just a fallen grihastha, but please give me some mission in my life. So I guess, you know, it's not without reason that I started my class explaining that Balaram is this feature of the Lord which is kind of in charge of expansion. So Guru is expanding the number of disciples, expanding the family of devotees. That's also an important function of Guru, of Balaram as such, because he's Vibhu. And in this case, you know, Guru Tattva as a principle still works through a particular guru if we meditate deeply on his teachings or personality. I guess that's the explanation of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri would come, would give initiation, would give mantra, and then for the rest of the life, people were meditating on Guru, and it is specifically said that Guru gives mantra, and then mantra becomes your Guru. Mantra And mantra basically means also meditation on the guru, on the relationship between guru and the Supreme Lord, because, yeah, mantra means this meditation. So I think these functions can also be successfully accomplished, functions of the guru, if the disciple is very sincerely meditating on the personality of guru, on his, his qualities, his role in our life, his example. And yeah, like, Guru gives an example of when we meditate on Guru mantra, the name for meditation, the name of the Guru, or the title, or whatever you call it, is Krishnananda, which can be translated differently, of course. But one is, too obvious translation is then, this is the person who is deriving so much bliss in his relationship with Krishna, therefore he is Krishnananda. Another one, this is the person by whose service Krishna is very much pleased and he experiences Ananda. Krishna himself is experiencing Ananda by this person. So if we meditate on Guru in this way, he's serving Krishna, he's spreading his glories, he's spreading his, his teachings and everything. So this meditation will give us joy. This meditation will give us also proportionate understanding that we should also serve and follow the footsteps. And ultimately, the last function is the most questionable, so to speak, or the most problematic. How is in this relationship you will get your personal relationship with Krishna. But again, Guru is connecting us with the great chain of devotees who are also, caring about us. Like Prabhupada said that the grandfather is usually much more lenient to the grandchildren than the father. So Prabhupada is our grandfather, is there to take care of us, even though our own spiritual father may not do this, but we have spiritual grandfather who can nevertheless perform this function. So I guess that's the answer. We should not be frustrated. We should not be expecting too much. Of course, we naturally want some personal relationship. It's the nature. But at the same time, we should not have some unrealistic expectations. Whatever Guru graciously can give, we should gratefully accept and go on. Cynicism doesn't help on the spiritual life. That much I can say. We are, we're supposed to be faithful people, so we're faithful in different meanings of this world. We're faithful because we're faithfully following, and faithful because we're full of faith, which makes us very optimistic. Yes.
Jai Radhe. Thank you, Maharaj.
So do we have any other questions?
In the chat box,
In the chat box, we have questions. Okay. Yesterday you had mentioned it is easy to be pessimistic in the early stages of our spiritual practice but in reality is actually very blissful. But the reality is actually very blissful because it is connected with Krishna. This was very eye-opening for me. I noticed I've been struggling with being overly pessimistic about the material world and judgmental about non-devotees' activities to enjoy. Is this related to envy, and how can we overcome this attitude? Well, yeah, definitely. If you are too much concentrated on the enjoyment of other people, it betrays that you're lacking something, and that's why you're overly concerned with their futile attempts to enjoy. We should not be too much critical of this. I mean, Prabhupada was critical. He is a guru. He has to be critical. Srimad Bhagavatam is very much critical about the enjoyment of people. But we, why should we dwell on this too much? And it betrays certain lacking in our own life, in our positive attitude, and yeah. So how to overcome this? Just concentrate on what we are supposed to do, and experience bliss in what we are doing. Like every day in the evening, I am kind of counting the blissful moments of my day connected with spiritual practice. And it's very helpful to accumulate these blissful moments and blissful experiences. So that will make us less concerned with the attempts of others to enjoy. Let them do whatever they like. If we can help them, that's fine. And also other special prayers or lilas from Lord Balaram that can help us to overcome envy and pessimism. Well, one particular lila of Lord Balaram from Dwaraka is his killing of gorilla Dvivida. And Dvivida, as we know, was one of the associates of Lord Ram, but being and even mentioned in Ramayana, and he's a great servant of Lord Ram, but this particular creature became very critical of Lakshman because of envy towards Lakshman. Lakshman is such a close friend, and actually Lakshman is a manifestation of Balaram, of course. He is guru. So killing of Dvivida, who became very obnoxious and very, his envy reached such a stage that he disturbed Lord Balaram's enjoyment when Lord Balaram was somewhat drunk by the wine of Krishna Prema. And we really disturbed his enjoyment, and we know that Lord Balaram successfully finished this envy manifested in Vivida. So the meditation on this particular pastime definitely will help us. First of all, not to be envious of others' enjoyment, and properly respect devotees or great devotees who are who have the privilege to be close to Krishna or to our Guru. So that's definitely one pastime which we can meditate upon. So Nicola has his hand raised, and I have few more questions in the chat, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Nicola.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my
Yes.
humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for this blissful opportunity. I have a question. As you said, the names of the Balaram are connected with the functions of the Guru. I have the question about the third name, about name Sankarshan. As you said, if I get that correctly, that Guru give you specific service to the Lord and a specific position and relationship with the Lord. So I will kindly ask you if you can please elaborate a little bit on that. How that happened, when that happened, is this like revealed to us, like slowly, or it's one point in time when this happened, and then we know our
Well,
position?
I'll give you the theoretical answer, which is a correct answer, which may not sound very practical initially, but actually this is the correct answer. It is said that the specific relationship between the soul and God are invested by Guru in specifically Kama Gayatri mantra. And that's why when Guru gives mantra, it's called Diksha, and Diksha means Divya Jnanam Dadati. He is giving Divya Jnanam, and Divya Jnana does not mean the general knowledge Jivara Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. Divya Jnana in this particular case, in case of mantra, means concrete relationships. So this is the theory. While meditating on the syllables of Gayatri mantra, specifically Kama Gayatri mantra, which are invested by certain potency by Guru's sadhana and everything else, while meditating on this and meditating on the meaning of Kama Gayatri mantra, you will get the revelation of your relationship. Now, from the practical point of view, how does it happen, and do we have any practical examples of how it happens? It's a very elevated subject matter, and it's once I was advised by Niranjan Maharaj, and that if I want to speak on a very elevated subject matters, I should be very careful and not speak so much on my own authority, but try to meditate on the higher authorities and their realizations. I mean, we do have examples of devotees and even followers of Srila Prabhupada who were very, like, of course, the most obvious example is Gaur Govinda Maharaj, who was very, very loyal and faithful servant of Srila Prabhupada, and performed a lot of services to Srila Prabhupada, practical services, establishing Bhubaneswar temple and everything else. But at the same time, totally absorbed in his relationship with Krishna, and his glorious departure from this world is the best proof of his elevated position. So again, this happens. He is meditating very intensely and intently on his service to his guru. And as a result, Guru reveals his intimate relationship with the Lord. Of course, he was Purva Janma devotee, he was devotee from his birth, and he had this established relationship with Gopal ji. But still, it's an example of follower of Srila Prabhupada who received this elevated position. In any case, that's the answer which I gave is like this. Another, from the practical point of view, how it happens, you at one point you start listening about the relationship between Krishna and intimate devotees, and you develop particular taste for this. This is how Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains this in Jaiva Dharma. And at the same time, you still meditate on the syllables of mantra, but your meditation is enhanced or nourished by listening how Guru explains the relationship between Krishna and his pure devotees in the spiritual world. And by listening this katha from the lips of Guru and meditating on the syllables of mantra, you will receive your identity. That's how it works.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, so we have yesterday you explained 3 stages of spiritual growth from the perspective of the spiritual master. Could you now describe this process from the disciple's perspective? How can we best cooperate with the Guru in his difficult task? Thank you very much for this difficult question. So, again, in one sense, it's Guru is trying to explain to us that our real nature is service. That's the first stage, and he is giving his own example, and while following his example, we start serving, and we experience, a lot of bliss in service. And in fact, we understand that if we are trying to only cater for our own needs, we become very miserable. It's actually very easy to understand that the service is our nature, because when we're engaged in, we always serve somebody. We have selfish end in serving others, but ultimately when we do something for the sake of others, we become very happy and satisfied. So initially we cooperating with Guru by trying to follow his example and trying to serve, like Prabhupada was such a great servant of his Guru and Lord Chaitanya. And basically our service is to spread Krishna consciousness. So we start distributing books, we start going Harinam, we feel empowerment. I mean, so many people felt a lot of empowerment by doing service. Like once Srila Radhanath Maharaj, he made a statement which actually impressed me very much. He said, it's such an amazing experience to feel how Krishna is doing something through you, something which you yourself will never be able to do. So, and he said it in a very unassuming manner, without, making a big deal. But he said that it's, you feel that you're very small and insignificant, but because you're serving Krishna, Krishna is using you as an instrument, and so this is and you feel a lot of empowerment by being the servant in the hands of Guru. So when you become this like this and you experience this, yes, I'm serving, and you feel a lot of, bliss, and results are coming. Unexpected results are coming. So the second thing is, I explained, when you hear about this reality from the lips of Guru, you become very blissful. That's simple. And the third thing I just explained to Nicola how it happened, and what we should do. We should try to listen, and get the comprehensive picture of reality from the lips of our Guru systematically, because our mistake is Guru sometimes he has to speak on different subject matters in different audiences, and sometimes he gives this seminar or that seminar, or sometimes he just gives this particular lecture. But our duty is to try to hear him systematically and comprehensively, and create the complete picture of reality in our understanding. According to tattvas, the Dashamula tattva is very important. So we should not just enjoy him speaking or joking. Sometimes gurus are very good in cutting jokes during the lectures, so that should not be our intention in hearing him. While hearing him, we'll try to create the complete picture of reality in our mind, and derive some systematic understanding. That's how we can cooperate with him or facilitate his service as a guru. And the third function is that, yes, at one point we should start hearing him very purposefully, how he is explaining personal relationship of the soul with Krishna at certain point of our development. Yeah, Keshav, Priya, Madhavi, please ask your question.
Maharaj, just now Your Holiness said that a Jiva develops his spiritual identity by listening to the Guru and following his mantra, Maharaj. So my question is, someone following Srila Prabhupada or any Guru coming from his succession, we are all Rupanagas, Maharaj. So the instruction we are following is from Srila Rupa Goswami. He himself is a Rupa Manjari. So my question is, if we are sincerely following any Guru of this parampara, then our identity, will it be in Manjari Bhava of Rupa Goswami, or it will be something else, Maharaj?
You want me to reveal your identity?
No, Maharaj, but just I am a sadhaka, Maharaj, but when I get perfected, since I am following my Guru who is in this succession.
Our parampara is primarily Manjari parampara. There is no doubt about it. And of course, Rupa Goswami, as a leader of our parampara, established this. But and there is room for other relationship as well. And Gopi Paranandan Prabhu, when he was asked, what does it mean that Anarpita Charin Chirat Karunavatirna Karo, that Unatojvala Rasa Svabhakti Shrim, that the Lord Chaitanya, he specifically came to give Manjari Bhav. If we deeply meditate on the meaning of this very important verse by Rupa Goswami, he gave this Unnata Ujjvala Rasa, and Unnata Ujjvala Rasa means Parakiya Rasa in Madhuri relationship with the Lord. That's why it's Unnata and Ujjvala. Ujjvala means blazing
Right.
or bright, and Unnata the highest. And Svabhakti Shriyam, and he didn't give this, he gave the Svabhakti Shriyam of Unnata Ujjvala Rasa. He himself experienced this love of Srimati Radharani Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he gave us Shriyam, which means the effulgence of this, which actually indicates Manjari Bhav. So, in one sense, if we literally take this verse, Anarpita Charim Chirat Karuna Avatirna Kalo, then Lord Chaitanya came to give this bhav, which was not given for a long time by anyone else. He gave this very rare gift. So in this sense, yes, you're right. But I heard an explanation which was given by Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu, who was a great scholar, and which also accommodates some other relationship with the Lord as well. Like we know there were followers of Lord Chaitanya who were in Sakyaras. There are some people who speculate that Srila Prabhupada was in Sakyaras by using some of his statements. It's not very probably favorable for us, but some people very vigorously are trying to prove that Srila Prabhupada was in Sakyaras. Whatever it is, there is definitely room for some other relationship with the Lord. And Parandana Prabhu, he explained this particular verse. What does it mean that Lord Chaitanya gave this gift? That even we may have some other relationship with the Lord or develop taste for some other relationship. Like even Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives example in Jaiva Dharma of one disciple, he listens and he develops this Sakya sort of mood. So what does it mean that Lord Chaitanya came and gave this Unnata Ujjvala Rasa Svabhakti Shriyam? It means basically that even though we may be engaged in other relationship with the Lord, then still we understand that this is the highest service, and we try to serve those devotees who serve Krishna in this capacity. So this is my answer to your difficult question. Yes, we may develop this, and this is the highest, and this is available within our line of disciplic succession. But there is a room for some other relationship as
Yes,
well.
Maharaj, I understand there is a room, but for any rasa to develop, we need nourishment, Maharaj, like Shastra. I mean, that rasa has to be nourished through some scriptures, but we are reading Rupa Goswami scriptures only, no, Maharaj.
No, but there are some other books which are translated, but Banu Maharaj translated books.
So if you're interested, we should read those scriptures, I mean, later, next night. Very high, very, very high in this stage. But someone who goes to that stage, will they start reading those scriptures, Maharaj, for their nourishment?
Yeah, like this book about, what is it called? Rasa Prasarnava. Anyway, about Sakyaras, which was specifically written for those Raganuga sadhakas who want to follow this Sakya relationship. And it's based again on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, but with the emphasis on this particular relationship, and with elaboration of this relationship, and elaboration on the subtle feelings and subtle bhavas, subtle rasas which are there.
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaj. I have one more question, but maybe can I ask?
Okay, let me first read one
Yes, Maharaj.
from the chat. In the Mahamantra, we say Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Here, Rama refers to Lord Balaram. When I chant my holy name, what should be my mood in invoking the name of Rama? Well, the Hare Krishna mantra is designed in such a way that any mood can be accommodated within this mantra. So if you are on this path of like safer path, let's put it like this, of developing friendly relationship with the Lord, because it's much kind of easier to understand the relationship. Then definitely while meditating on Ram, you can meditate on the name of Ram, you can meditate on Balaram. But if you are aspiring for higher price and you're gambling for higher price, then your meditation on Ram is meditation on Radharaman, or the one who is enjoying Srimati Radharani. That's why he's called Ram, and he's Raman. Hanatha Ramana Preshta, Srimati Radharani herself called Krishna Raman, Ramana Preshta, when he left her during Rasa dance. So meditation on Hare Krishna Mahamantra can accommodate any relationship. Just to follow up on previous comment, Maharaj, what we should extend our preaching to bring people to Krishna consciousness by book distribution. I see the book distribution service is much needed for sadhaka. Can you elaborate on this particular book distribution seva for a devotee? Well, you know, Srila Prabhupada was very much emphasizing this particular service because he said, you know, what you can, how you can preach when you meet somebody for a few seconds or minutes on the street, what you can preach. But if you give him book, then there is a chance for such person to get more deeply into Krishna consciousness. And when it's those people who experience this, it's a difficult service, it's demanding service. Some people have very shy nature, and it's difficult for them to approach other people and give them books. But when people get a book from us, we experience tremendous bliss, which is not coming from us or from the modes of material nature or from our successful business interaction with a person when we sold the book to him. It's coming from Krishna within the heart. Krishna is dancing within the heart and saying, yes, yes, this is right. And sometimes Krishna is using us. You know, I remember during one marathon, it was very intense in the beginning. Everyone had to go on book distribution marathon. And there was one Mataji, she was so miserable during this book distribution seva. She was just crying the whole marathon and trying to give people books and trying, and nobody would take books, and she was crying every day. And ultimately, one person took the book from her, and this is the only book which she distributed during this marathon, the only one book. And so many other people, you know, book distributors, they distributed hundreds and thousands of books. But after marathon, only one person came to the temple. That was the person who got the book from her. So Krishna appreciated her sincerity and her service so much that he made this particular person to come to the temple, and everyone else was distributing hundreds of books, and nobody was impressed by this, including Krishna himself. So that's a little bit which I can say about this. Okay. Okay, so do we have any other question? There is some question here also. You mentioned that a great deal of power can come from one's ego opposition. On the one hand, seeing oneself as a servant of the Lord can be an immense source of strength. On the other, we are often encouraged to meditate on our own insignificance, to cultivate humility, to avoid prominent position, as that might hinder the growth of bhakti. How can these two perspectives be reconciled? Well, we can see Srila Prabhupada, his greatness was not a hindrance to his humility. He remained a very humble servant of his Guru Maharaj, and he manifested it during celebration of disappearance day of his Guru Maharaj, when he started crying and when he was looking at all his disciples and says, my Guru Maharaj sent all of you to me because of my humble endeavors to help him in his mission. So that's the example. While doing something, we should always, like I also quoted Srila Radhanath Maharaj when he says that it's a very amazing experience to know that you are insignificant, but Krishna is doing something unproportionately big through you, which you yourself would never be able to accomplish. So this position, we have to always remain in this position. Yes, I am insignificant, and whatever I'm doing not because I'm so great, not because I'm so intelligent, but because Krishna is using me, because I'm trying to become his instrument. So we should see all our accomplishments as actually accomplishments of Krishna. And Krishna himself says this to Arjuna. Krishna himself says, Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. He says, you are Savyasachi, you are very good at shooting arrows, but you shoot arrows as my tool, as the instrument in my hands, and then I will help you to shoot arrows in a proper way and to get your target established properly. So yes, we should develop our skills, like Arjuna was very good and he was developing skills, but at the same time, internally, he was always feeling that I'm just a servant of my of Krishna, of my Guru, and he's working through me. So I think this is how we should reconcile this. Yeah, somebody's Sri Sri Pre Bhakti Rasarnavam by Nayananda Thakur. Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you very much, Nanda. Yes.
Maharaj, like previously, Guru used to give Diksha, But the cultural system was there, the local brahmanas were there, because when it comes to practices, most of our practices, the doubts what we have is based on the dharma and other things, which we have somebody to guide at a local level. And Guru is there who gives us spiritual level instructions where you practice your bhajan and mantra which he has given. Like most of our questions, okay, how to do this, how to do this. They are more on a practical basis, which so that time the setup was different. Now presently we don't have such brahmanas to help on a level, and we need Guru to take help of all the things, and that is the standard whatever is.
Not necessarily. You heard the question by Radha Pramod?
It should.
Shall I repeat?
Yeah.
We heard, Maharaj.
You heard. Okay. You heard.
Maharaj, please repeat.
Oh, repeat. Okay. He says that previously there was cultural setup, Guru would give mantra, and there was a Brahminical class and people of Brahminical nature around you who would explain to you how to practically apply and live your life. And you had a lot of, examples and a lot of people who could give all this practical advices. Now, at the present setup, when we don't have this environment, then the Guru has to fulfill this function as well, which is difficult. So that was his, what shall we do? Yeah, but Guru, he gives the instructions on a higher level, but he also creates a society of devotees which can help us in all the practical matters. Yes, the Brahminical society to a greater extent doesn't exist now, although it does exist in certain pockets of Indian society, but still to a greater extent it's non-existent. But still Gurus is creating the chain of disciples, and some are more senior and they can guide in all these practical matters. So that's also a duty of the Guru to empower some of his senior disciples to give the practical guidance to some other devotees. So in this way, the same culture is being maintained, so to speak. Yes, Rupanuga Prabhu, we have few more minutes to finish.
Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you very much, first of all, for coming and giving your association. Maharaj, my question is related to the first point which we discussed in this question answer session about the importance of the Kam Gayatri and how this is basically related to like having realization and more depth into this. At the same time, Maharaj, it was like we have importance of holy name, and I would say like before that point we would have heard glories of holy name in details and how that also reveals things, and it has all the rasas inside it. Would you like to like the relation between both the practices, because it can happen for some sadhakas, they may not come up to the point of even gayatris or that initiation, or how was that like in our tradition, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Shad Goswamis. I don't think they had Janeu, but they were chanting Gayatris. Definitely they were chanting Gayatris. Was it like in the previous tradition also? This importance of Kam Gayatri was there in that stress, or it is like it is one of the stages where a sadhaka will come?
Uh, It's definitely the importance of Kama Gayatri is very strongly established in our tradition by the example, especially the example of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who was about to commit suicide because he could not understand the statements of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami about Gayatri mantras. So about Kama Gayatri, he was so intensely meditating on Kama Gayatri and on the explanation and well, the visualization which should be there because it's 24 and a half moons of Krishna, how it is. So you don't need Brahmin thread to meditate on Gayatri mantra. Brahmin thread is specifically for this, for Upanayana Samskara, for meditation on Brahma Gayatri mantra. Srila Prabhupada gave Gayatri mantras to the ladies, and they don't have Brahmin thread. So Brahmin thread is not a necessary component of Gayatri meditation. It may be helpful, but it's not really necessary to chant it on the thread, on Janil. But the tradition is definitely there. And in Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is explained that, more details about this meditation on Gayatri mantras are there, more technical details are there, which Srila Prabhupada didn't bother to establish even, like it is said that you should do pranayam before chanting Gayatri mantra, this and that. So there are different technical details in our tradition about this meditation. Srila Prabhupada was very simple, but still he said, we have our meditation, and this is meditation on the syllables of Kama Gayatri, but the most important is, of course, the meditation on Hare Krishna mantra that he emphasized again and again and again. And yes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also very emphatic about this, that Hare Krishna mantra can give you everything. Everything else is secondary to Hare Krishna mantra, and if you meditate properly on Hare Krishna mantra, then everything else is there. So I don't know what else to say. You're right. Our main meditation is meditation on Hare Krishna mantra, but meditation on Gayatri mantras are helpful, and they can deepen our meditation on Hare Krishna mantra, can help meditating on this.
Yes, Maharaj, that was the thing. Like, does both the mantras, like Gayatri mantra, accelerate or helps, or
Yeah,
it's a
it is
supporting?
said that Gayatri mantra, first of all, what is Gayatri? And that's why Srila Prabhupada called it Brahminical initiation. It gives you more regulation into your life. It gives you more discipline. It is specifically said that there is no time, concrete time to chant Hare Krishna mantra, and we sometimes misuse this statement, and we mumble it while driving the car because there is no strict rules in chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So, but Gayatri mantra is giving you more discipline. You have to do it in a particular time, in a particular manner, maintaining a certain level of cleanliness and everything else. That's why it helps us in our chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. Basically, yes, that's why the basic diksha in Vedic culture, so to speak, is meditation on Brahma Gayatri, which is meditation on the sun. And sun is setting an example of very disciplined kind of routine. Sun is not whimsical at all. Sun is always rising at the same time according to particular, schedule, and sun is very, very regulated. So while meditating on the sun, we also regulate our life. We get up in a particular time, we go to bed in a particular time. Hopefully we sleep while going to bed. That's my autobiographical addition to this. Anyway, so Pagupta has last question and we will finish. He is here.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, in this connection only, I just wanted to ask you, some people say that for chanting the Hare Krishna mantra also, unless we get Diksha, first initiation, it doesn't have the same potency unless the Guru chants on the bead and gives. Whereas some other people say because it is not mantra, it is you're calling the holy names. So it you don't need Diksha, it has potency. So can you please clarify my
Shall I repeat? Some people say that you only need Guru to chant Hare Krishna mantra properly and initiation, and there are other statements which say because it's not mantra, you don't need initiation, you don't need Diksha, you don't need what is this? Charana? Purascharana, the preliminary purification of the mantra. Yes, both statements are correct. You don't need Purascharana, you don't need Purascharana to do, to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Srila Prabhupada himself says this. But again, it is explained by Srila Jiva Goswami very beautifully. He said that even though these things are not necessary for becoming successful in chanting of the holy name, still because of two reasons, because of our undisciplined mind and corrupt character, not very pure and Kadarya Silanam and Vikshipta Chintanam, because our mind is very undisciplined and it's all over the place. And because our character is not very proper, for that you need Diksha. Diksha and Gayatri mantra, they help you to overcome this Vikshipta Chintanam, very distracted mind, because you're more, you're obliged in this relationship, you're more disciplined, you meditate in a certain time, you give certain vows, I will do this, I will do this seva. So even though it's not technically necessary, it's very much helpful in chanting mantra, and therefore it is generally recommended. But Hare Krishna mantra is independently powerful, and it can give all the results without all these things. But normally, to gain the results from chanting Hare Krishna, you need relationship with Him. I guess we should finish now. Thank you very much for attending these sessions, which gives a lot of satisfaction to me. I don't know about you, but it definitely has a lot of positive effect on me. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Dandat pranam. Dandat
Thank
pranam, Maharaj.
you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Dandat pranam, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.